Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today we are finalizing the pallet raised bed garden formation, and we have those first two way down there on the left side there. Those ones are completely leveled. One of them is kind of full, and I just wanted to kind of show you how I'm actually filling these up. My husband is helping me get these things all sorted and getting them all kind of aligned and as level as we can do with our property the way that it is. But then we're filling it up Hugelkultur style, and I'm filling up a level on the bottom and then kind of covering it with a layer of the soil over there that we're filling it up with, and then doing another layer of logs. And then I got some leaves that I used on this one. I'm not gonna have enough leaves to do all of them, but I'm kind of just filling it up with organic matter and then gonna top it off with soil. It's probably gonna be about 6 to 9 inches. I'm not completely finished with this one. But yeah, we're just going through and we're getting these as level as we can and laying down cardboard underneath them, so hopefully some weeds and everything won't go through it. And so I just thought you would want to maybe see us fill up a couple of these, or how we are actually getting these things going. And we're getting ready to do that one over there. We're gonna get that one leveled. We're kind of just hopefully gonna get as many leveled as we can today.
All right, let's get started.
Cool. And also what we're doing is we're having over there on the far side, there's a 4-foot path that we're gonna run, that we can run through, and then in between each one is roughly 3 feet. All the beds are not the same size, so it's kind of difficult to get it exact, but we're getting pretty close. So then once we get all the cardboard down and kind of in place, we're also filling in the pathways as we go, but I'm just going to wet it down. So the next thing I'm doing, I got probably enough that I'm gonna need for one bed, maybe two, but probably not. So all I'm doing is watering it. These beds we didn't want to go through. We didn't want to go through and actually try and level the actual, what do you want to call it, the ground. So we just made the beds themselves as level as we could, and then we're gonna go through on that one. We put cardboard along this edge because it kind of, in order to get it level, it's a bit up like that. And so we're just putting cardboard around it, and I'm going to go through later on and actually tack up pieces of wood on the bottom here where I think you can see the sun kind of shining through. You can see the gaps there. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to put cardboard now just to keep the dirt in, and then before the cardboard actually breaks down, I'm going to go through and put wood up on there, so kind of like a finishing bar kind of. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, they're pallet beds. I'm not really that interested in making them look glorious, but we'll see how it goes. So now that we have the edges all done with the cardboard, now it's time to actually come in here and just throw the logs in. And I'm going to make them all kind of going similar, the same direction, just so that they can fill in a little bit easier that way. And the dirt, rather. So that got me almost, we got the almost both of the base layer of 2 different beds done from that amount of wood that I had. So you can see here, let me show you. You can see it's just kind of filled up with a bunch of logs. And then we got a half, maybe a little less than half of the second one done with all that wood that we had. So now I'm just going to finish up filling up this bed over here, and then I'm going to fill up the base layer with some of the compost and soil mixture that we have. So we took a little bit of a break and we went and got some dinner, and now we're ready to get back to it. And I'm just gonna keep filling this bed up here, and then hopefully I'll be able to finish these 3 beds tonight. We'll see. So far I have, what is that noise? Yeah, so I'm just gonna get back to it. So these are all filled with the first layer. We got the trees down, or the branches down, then the soil and the compost, and now I'm gonna go and scour the woods again for a second layer to put on top of here, and then yeah, then we're gonna move forward to the next thing. All right, so I think that's just about all we have light for today. So I will meet you back here again tomorrow, and we will finish up filling up our Hugelkultur raised beds, and we'll also be working on a few other ones too. So we'll see you then. So it's the next day here, and it's about the afternoon. I spent the morning doing a bunch of stuff, and chores and chicken stuff, and also came over here and finished up filling up this bed here. And I kind of wanted to give you guys a bit of an idea. Some of them are much higher than others. I'll probably end up kind of shifting these around just a little bit, but some of them are a little bit lower. And roughly, I would say anywhere between like 9 to 12 inches, I think, is about how high I filled this up. And so now we're going to go through, and I'm going to go ahead and rake the forest floor and try and get a bunch of just organic matter to put on top of here. And then on top of that, I'm going to fill it up with soil. And so I'll go ahead and just bring you along for that and show you everything that we're doing to finish up this project. So now all I'm going to do is just start filling these up with soil. That's really all there is left, is just bringing mass amounts of soil in here. So I'm actually going to want to fill up the one right behind you first. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to move you behind the other one, and then we're going to start filling that one up first. So one of the things, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but one of the things that I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing is when I first put the first bits of the soil down, filling in all the cracks underneath. That will, no matter what I do, it's going to settle, and probably going to settle a tremendous amount. That's also why I did the layers with the logs, and then this dirt and / compost, and then another layer of logs. I'm just trying to minimize the air gaps that are in there to at least eliminate that type of settling. And it's not going to be perfect, but not even close to it. I'm just doing the best I can to try and not have quite as much settling, basically. So you can see in here there's all kinds of big caverns and gaps and all those sorts of things. So that's where I'm going to go first, and slowly, and then once it gets kind of sort of level-ish, then I'm just going to start piling the soil on. So we are almost completely finished with the raised bed filled Hugelkultur, I still can't say it, Hugelkultur style. And the only thing left to do on this bed is to fix those 2 slats that I broke when I was trying to use the wheelbarrow and the gorilla cart. And then I left a bit of a lump beside them. So once I do actually fix them, however I end up fixing them, it'd probably just be a pretty basic patchwork. Gonna push this dirt over, and then I'm hoping that it's gonna be all completely level with the actual wood in here, because I know it's gonna sink a lot. It's gonna sink probably pretty much right away with, I would imagine, the first rain, and then after that it's gonna continue to sink over time. So my plan is to go ahead and fill it up as much as I can, fill it up flush with the wood, so that way it has the enough soil in it to sink without damaging my plants, and then I don't have to go through later in this year and add more soil to it, potentially covering up the crowns of all the plants that I'm planting. So we don't want to do that. Probably at some point we'll come through and actually cover it with, do it a little bit of Back to Eden style as well, and throw in a bunch of wood chips on top. So we have a lot to get through. This is kind of just the basic, my understanding of a very loose definition of Hugelkultur, trying to save a bunch of money and get a nice tall, this is about knee high for me, raised bed, and without filling it 100% with soil. And it's something that can break down over time, and it can also hold the moisture in the bed without it running down the hill. I don't know how good my leveler is on here, but you can probably see a fairly decent angle that this hillside rolls down. So hopefully this will help retain some of the moisture in the beds, and that as along with some heavy mulching on top once we actually do plant these beds. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. And if you have any tips or tricks or any way that you have to garden and raise beds, I would love it if you leave in the comment section below. As you can see, because I'm just building them, I am very new to raised bed gardening, and I would love to get any of your tips or tricks, feedback, or anything like that. I'd love to just share your advice with everybody else in future videos. So thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye.